The iPhone 10 has performed very well for me over the past week. Now, it doesn't seem fair to compare it to the performance of the 3G, which I was using over the past a month and a few weeks, and neither does it seem fair to compare it to the iPhone 7 or 7 Plus. The 8 and the 8 Plus have the same chip, so the closest comparison we have is the A10X chip found in this year's iPad Pros. Now, coming from the iPad Pro, you'll notice that the difference in performance isn't significant. Even the Geekbench scores will tell you that. But the perceived performance is a whole lot different story. The iPad Pro on one hand has to render a much larger view area and sometimes even at 120 Hz. On the other hand, the iPhone 10 doesn't have to deal with any of that because it's locked at 60 frames per second maximum, and it doesn't have to deal with any of the downsampling that its older brother the 8 Plus has to deal with. So where does all this power for the iPhone 10 come from? Well, if your answer was the A11 Bionic SoC, you were only partially correct. If you read through iFixit's teardown, you'll notice the iPhone 10's internals are like very carefully placed cogs like those found in a premium wall clock. Its motherboard is a dual-layered PCB, and we are seeing this right after the very first iPhone. And this is a mechanical engineering meets electronical design marvel. It's absolutely beautiful to see what Apple has done to minimize the footprint of the PCB so it can fit a slightly larger battery. And talking about the battery is also, there are two of these connected together, and I'm not sure of why Apple did that, split the battery into two, but it does give you slightly more area in the battery, so the surface area increases, so more battery capacity, but I'm not sure how it affects the consumption patterns. So if you know a thing or two about that, let me know down in the comments. It's incredible how much I can do in iOS 11 now. All of this is due to the inclusion of a single new first-party app from Apple, the Files app. This has dramatically changed how I use my iPhone and my iPad Pro. It has single-handedly also made me a lot more productive when using either of these devices. The fragmentation on Android and the darn slow document processing speed rendered me a potato over the last few weeks. It's done, it's gone, water under the bridge. Now, I haven't done a lot of gaming on this phone yet. I was very busy getting things up and running and then recording and writing this review and a whole lot of other things. But I do have a few chapters of Implosion left. Then there's the Conduct AR review that is coming up and is in the pipeline already. So I'm pretty excited to get that one to you guys as early as possible. So stick around for that. And yeah, I'm pretty excited to see how these games perform on the new A11 chip, because that is something again I did not do when I had the 8 Plus in for review. So this is something I'm definitely going to be doing with the 10 and see if the display, the OLED display, makes a big change to how we perceive these games and if it affects our gameplay performance in any way. Well, if you like this section of the review, hit the like button. If you disliked it, you know what to do. Leave me a comment down below and let me know why you disliked it. If you're new around here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and click on the bell icon so you'll get a notification every time I upload a new video. I'll see you in the next chapter. Cheers.